Most people approach Bitcoin the same way that they approach stocks, real estates, or other crypto. They ask questions like, is now a good time to buy? What do you think the price would be next year? Or is now a good time to take profits? Those questions actually make sense if Bitcoin were only an investment. But Bitcoin is much more than that. Bitcoin is a system. And if you approach a system the same way that you approach a trade, you will misunderstand it, misuse it, and eventually lose confidence in it. This video is not about price, it's not about cycles, and it's not about convincing anyone. This video is actually about what Bitcoin is, why it exists, and where does it fit inside a sovereign life. If you're here to speculate, this channel is probably not for you. If you're here to build long-time resilience, this channel will give you a foundation most people never get. Bitcoin entered the world through markets, exchanges, charts, tickers, and volatility. So naturally, people framed it as an asset to trade. But this framing is accidental, it's not essential. Most people don't ask, what problem does Bitcoin solve? They ask how much it might be worth later. That's like looking at the internet in the 1990s and asking if email stocks will go up, while missing the fact that the internet itself changes coordination, communication, and power. Bitcoin is not primarily a financial product. It is a response to a structural problem: the inability of individuals to reliably store and transfer value. If you miss that, everything else looks confusing. A useful way to understand Bitcoin is to stop thinking about it in terms of assets and start to think about it in terms of infrastructure. So let's talk about what Bitcoin is and isn't. Bitcoin is a monetary network, a settlement system, a rules-based protocol, and a form of digital property that does not require permission. It is not a company, it is not a yield instrument, and it's not a cash flow generator. You don't invest in roads or the internet the same way that you invest in businesses. You use them, you build on them, and you rely on them. Bitcoin works more this way. Its value comes from credibility, predictability, and neutrality, not from growth narratives. Bitcoin is not designed to make you rich quickly. It's designed to protect you from some very specific risks: monetary debasement, counterparty failures, capital controls, confiscation, policy uncertainty, and institutional fragility. These risks tend to be slow, boring, until they aren't. Most people only look for protection after the failure happens. Bitcoin is for people who design before the failure. That's why it often looks unnecessary until it isn't. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth: most people who think they hold Bitcoin actually don't. They hold IOUs, claims, or a balance in someone else's system. That may be convenient, but convenience is not sovereignty. Bitcoin only works as intended when you control the keys. Self custody is not a feature, it's the entire point. Without custody, you reintroduce trust, permission, and fragility. And once you do that, you are no longer using Bitcoin as a sovereign system. You're just holding a speculative derivative of it. Bitcoin is often marketed as freedom, and that is a little bit misleading. Bitcoin is responsibility: responsibility to learn, backup, custody, care, and even teach. There is no customer support, there is no password reset, there is no bailout, and that is just a trade off. Sovereignty always comes with responsibility, and if that sounds heavy, it's because it is. Bitcoin should not be your identity, your only investment, or a replacement for your skills, work, or creation. Bitcoin does not produce value, it preserves optionality. It's a foundation, not the entire house. You still need income, skills, relationships, businesses, and creation. Bitcoin protects the outputs of those things over a long period of time. Nothing more and nothing less. This channel will not predict price, sell altcoins, or chase narratives. This channel will explain self custody clearly, show redundancy thinking, discuss long term wealth protection, and connect systems to real life things like career capital and creation. In the end, Bitcoin is a piece of a larger framework, a foundational one, but still a piece. If you're looking for excitement, this probably wasn't exciting. On the other hand, if you're looking for something to build for the next 10, 20, or 30 years, this is where it starts. In the next videos of this playlist, we're gonna go deeper into redundancy, threat models, and practical implementations. Subscribe if you're here for systems and not speculation.